So instead of manually updating my stop loss option each time, I've gone through and done that and taken a screenshot of each of the results comparison pages. Now we're able to just flick through them via the screenshot and analyze what we've got going on. So we can see we're sitting around 7.76% on a lot of the drawdowns. That's kind of the baseline of the minimum we're getting. There's a 5.96 there, but as a whole, I'm looking around the kind of 8% mark. So that's actually pretty good. Let's see, we've got 70%, 62s, 61. So they're all in kind of a similar range to each other. I've marked it up here so we can see what one we're looking at. So this one will be swing candle times 2, so no ATR calculation in there. This one is just ATR times 1.5. We have the swing candle plus half ATR. We have the swing candle plus 1 ATR or the entry candle plus 1 ATR. So these two should be relatively similar, and you can see there's a few that are exactly the same. Don't get too caught up on the color. The color is just relative within its own column, not intersheet. So although this 432 here is a lighter shade of green and looks somewhat less appealing, when we move to the other one, it's actually the same number but a darker green because it's closer to the top percentile. So don't let that fool you when comparing these. Look at just the numbers for now, and we can see there's actually quite a constant block around here in the mid 400s between about 80 to 86%. So that stability there is a good thing to look for. And I like that much more than I like this entry candle level. So having the swing candle seems to help quite a bit. So I'm going to rule out the entry candle option. So we're starting with swing candle plus 1 ATR looks good. So looking through each of these, if we go between the swing candle and the difference in ATR, while you do gain more percent, you are doing it at the sacrifice of losing more trades. So I actually like this block here. So I would be more focused on using the 1 ATR and putting it possibly somewhere in the middle of here. This 1.3 to 1.4 area is looking pretty good because that's quite stable. And it's starting to drop off here. It might just be a coincidence that this one's got to pop up. It might be right on the cusp of a few trades. So I would head for that 1.2 to 1.3 to 1 for this one if I was going to use that. But if I was to use the half ATR, that's looking a lot more comfortable. You can see the suggestions down here. That's based on a few of these factors. It's kind of averaging out what's best overall. As you can see, it hasn't gone for the highest income. It hasn't gone for the highest winning percent. And it kind of combines it in with lower drawdowns, higher gains, and higher winning percentages, and averages out those three. So these are just suggestions. It helps prompt you in the right kind of area that you might want to look at, but once again, it's going to depend on how you want to trade. So I would actually take this one as it is. The 1.6 looks good. We have a nice ramp up in the color scheme, meaning that it's pretty consistent around there, and this is just where it really seems to shine. There's a little bit here, but it's got to drop off on each side in comparison to here. I think 1.6. Now if I'm to use the ATR 1.5, so this one actually has quite a high winning percentage. And once again, don't let the colors throw you off because we do have an outlier down here, which is essentially discolored everything else. Looking over the values here, it seems we've actually got 123% gain around here with hundreds either side and an even drop down. So once again, that kind of bell curve there makes it look like this is the chosen area, the good area. And actually without looking down there, 1.3 to 1, I like that this is above 70. That's a really comforting thing. Feel amazing when you're just winning trade after trade. So this is actually my favorite so far. 1.3 with 70% and 123% gain. That is comfortable. Okay, and if we were to use the swing candle times 2, once again looking over it, we have a 1.4 here, which is suggested. It's the highest gain, but it's also got kind of an even color distribution around it. That's kind of the visual way of checking that we've kind of struck it in the right area. You know, if it struck one color and then kind of fell off very quickly, for example, up here, you can see this one in the middle. There's a significant difference between these two values. Obviously, it's a 0.5 difference because that's when we're filtering things down. But in here, this one in the middle looks great, so I'd be doing a 1.4 on here. So going back to the sheet, I know which one I'm getting rid of, the entry candle one. I'm going to delete that. I'm actually going to continue testing this with all 4 of these options so I can see if it's consistent across multiple currencies. And if so, it might actually be a strategy that I may begin to trade, especially if I'm getting 65 to 70% even after factoring in a little bit of spread.